Hi, so we're in part 3 of my midlife divorce series. I was hoping I could get it in 4 parts, but it may take longer. I don't know, depends on how much we get through. But in part 3, it's so important that you understand at the beginning that you've got really 3 things to think about. You've got yours and his or hers and theirs. And so at the beginning of the talk, you might be wasting money that you may need later. And what I mean by that is maybe you're committed to, you're in the middle of something that's financed and you're spending money on it, and it may be an asset that you don't keep long term. Also, it could be that you're spending money on attorneys, and believe me, they already have enough money. They don't need your money. And I think that that's something that is well worth thinking about, because the longer that it takes you to correspond with your attorneys, the more money on both sides that gets spent on that. And let's face it, if you've been married for many years, you know this person pretty well. Most of the time, you can come together and make decisions that you can divide up and everybody's happy, but not every time. So if you are in a situation where that's not gonna be feasible and you already know it, then before you start paying attorney fees, you need to decide, get everything that you can agree on down on paper. That's easy. Give it to the attorneys. They don't have to ask any more questions about those things. And then if there is one item or issue that is not being agreed on, then if you need to get support for that, whether it is an intermediary person that can sit and help you work through it and figure out what's best for both people, that's fine. It's a lot cheaper than attorneys going back and forth to talk about all these things. And really, the major issues are going to be financial issues and real estate assets. So if those are part of what you're disagreeing on, you're going to be spending more money than you want to if you cannot come to terms. And a lot of times what I've seen with women that I've worked with in real estate that are going through divorce issues and selling their home and all that good stuff, it's one of those things that, because you, again, are emotional, as we talked about in the last video, sometimes you let things go and settle on things that you look back later on and think, wow, I wish I just spent a little more time on that decision. So you don't want to have any regrets about that, and you don't want to waste money, because time is money. And the sooner that everybody agrees on where the house is going, the car is going, if you have several properties, how that's working out, the more money you're going to have in the end. I just wanted to bring up that issue of how important it is to advance these decisions together without attorneys involved if possible. Also, when you're going through these decisions, sometimes, and you know, your friends, it's so great that you have great friends. It's awesome. Coworkers, family. But keep in mind that even though most of them do have your best interest at heart, they're being pulled through this as well, and they may not be the most rational decision-making party for you. And unfortunately, what I've found through divorce is sometimes friends have to pick who they're going to stick with And it becomes kind of a sad situation because you don't just divorce each other, you divorce your friends and sometimes family, and in-laws might have been your dearest people in the world. And when you go through divorce, you don't always get to maintain that relationship. And that's another hard thing in it. Not to mention your children, grown or not, independent or not, all of these things you take into consideration because let's face it, every year there's holidays. Every year you have traditions that everyone shared together and we're all set in stone and that's the way you always did it. Well, guess what? It's all changing. And it's super important that you communicate with your kids and everybody sets out their plans for the holidays, understands that unless you're in a very unique situation with your ex, you're not going to be sharing the holidays with them and possibly their new friend or your new friend. And it's sad. It's very sad that it turns out that way in a lot of cases. But in the end, if everyone's happy, and that's really all everyone wants to be in the end, family only wants you to be happy. They only want the best situation long term for you. And friends, although they want to be helpful, may not always be the best person to reach out to. They're emotional just like you are. And every now and then there is that friend that stays pretty centered in decisions and doesn't try to tell you what you need to be doing, and that's great. If you have that friend, hang on to them, because unless you ask for someone's opinion, they really don't need to voice it. And don't hesitate to ask people if you want to, maybe even get professional help through, if you have insurance through work and you decide, hey, I want to utilize that this time, see if make sure that I'm on the right track. There is nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's probably a great thing to do. But stay connected because we still have a lot to talk about. And subscribe to my channel, visit my website, and just know I am just a text message away, and reach out anytime. So we're going to be moving on into our part 4 of the series. And really, it's kind of a fun part because this is where you get to embrace your independence and realize that you deserve happiness and you can actually reach a joyful place in your life after divorce and really feel like you are in control of your destiny together, meaning together, you and yourself, making those decisions, where you want to live, how you want to live, what you want to watch, where you want to go, what you want to drive, all those things that you have always had to consult with someone else. Well, it's all up to you. So we're going to talk about that, and that you can live a beautiful life after divorce. Talk to you soon.